Hello, it's me, Ryan and Ditto, finally back for a video. This video will be a team analysis on my team in Season 11 of Reasonable at Pokemon Association's Draft League in the lower division since I'm pretty new to draft leagues. To those unfamiliar with the concept, a draft league is where players, called coaches, have a certain number of points, in this case 115, to draft a certain pool of Mons. If they draft a Mon, other players cannot draft it as it's been picked. After drafting, the teams duke it out in a round-robin format, with the top performing teams making it to playoffs, where one victorious team will claim the champion. With the explaining out of the way, let's get straight into the team analysis. Roll the intro! Okay, let's get into it. Starting off with my top pick, Zamazenta-C. I originally wanted to use Tapu Fini and Xianpao, but with both of them sniped from me due to my low draft order, I got Zamazenta instead. It's a solid steel type with a pretty good speed tier, albeit being slower than its hero form at base 128. It also has humongous bulk with 92, 140, 140 defenses, and has a passable 120 attack stat. It also got body press in Gen 9, so that's another plus. Sure, you might argue that with Steel Fighting being its typing, it's a fake fairy resist, but its solid natural bulk and Steel Stab should be able to deter them rather well. I wasn't really sure what to draft for my second pick, but after some contemplation, I picked up Chi-Yu. The snack that murders back is infamous for one thing and one thing only: raw special attacking power. With my fish, I can wall break slower teams while destroying faster teams with Scarf or Flame Charge sets, while potentially having the potential to run Taunt and Substitute for bulkier teams. This gives me my offensive Dark and Fire types as well, which any decent draft league team really needs. To round up my big three, I drafted Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise has a Shell Smash complex ban, but even after that, at only 11 points, it's surprisingly cheap. It's extremely versatile as Gen 1 Mons usually have really deep move pools, with moves like the obligatory Rapid Spin, Fake Out and Aqua Jet for priority, and even Flip Turn for a pivoting Rapid Spinner, which is relatively rare. I also discovered that with max speed investment and a timid nature, Mega Blastoise outspeeds the likes of Xianpao and Iron Bundle after a Rapid Spin speed boost. This might come in handy versus these Mons later down the line. At this point in the draft, the fairies were getting scarce with Sylveon and Florges getting taken, so I grabbed mine, Togekiss. Balanced stats across the board, incredible utility moves like Thunder Wave, Trick, Defog, Wish, and even Heal Bell, as well as a solid base 80 speed tier, makes it a pretty good pick for 12 points. I also made it my Terra Captain, so that it could fulfill its defensive-offensive role by flipping the matchup versus Steel and Poison types. For example, I could use a Terra Fire Nasty Plot Flamethrower/Fire Blast set to flip matchup versus Goldango. My next pick was Latias. I needed a dragon that was not too expensive and had good synergy with my Fairy Steel Dragon Core, and Latias was it. Sure, you might notice the stacking of ice weakness between Latias and Togekiss, but I had to choose between Primarina and Togekiss for my Fairy, with Primarina overlapping with Blastoise. Besides, Latias' natural bulk means that it can potentially tank an ice move. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's talk about the synergy between Latias and Zamazenta-C, the main reason why I took it. Zamazenta can threaten the Dragon, Fairy, and Ice types that threaten Latias, while Latias returns the favor by switching into Fire, Ground, and Fighting attacks, as well as potentially providing Wish support to maintain Zamazenta's longevity. Meanwhile, Latias also has 110 speed, providing my team with another crucial speed tier. I noticed that my team lacked two things: strong priority and a ground type. Mamoswine was my natural next pickup due to this. For 13 points, you're getting the third strongest Ice Shard user after Xianpao and Excalibur, and electric immunity, and even thick fat related utility. And I believe we all know how threatening Mamoswine stabs are to many Fairy Dragon's Steel cores, which almost any good draft team possesses. You can even set up Stealth Rock, but with my later pick, it would not really be necessary, freeing up a move slot for more destruction, like Knock Off, Superpower, or even Rock Tomb. At this point in the draft was where I got sniped again, with Raikou getting snatched right before my eyes. So I settled for Jolteon, which was 1 point cheaper and allowed me to get something pretty important, so all is well. Jolteon gives me the 130 base speed tier, allowing me to speed tie with base 130s which Zamazenta can't otherwise outspeed, as well as giving me Volt Switch pivoting. Hidden Power is also legal in this league, so Hidden Power Ice or Hidden Power Grass would be a natural addition to its moveset. As an added bonus, I made it another one of my Terra captains, so they can get up Calm Mind safer with like Terra Flying, and dent or outright sweep the opposition. Remember when I said that Mamoswine doesn't really need Stealth Rock in his moveset? I drafted Kleavor, that's why. Kleavor's signature move, Stone Axe, is a 97.5 base power rock move that sets up Stealth Rock for you. Absolutely insane move in my opinion. It also gets sharpened boosted X-Scissor, as well as some of Scyther's moves, Close Combat, U-Turn, and even utility moves like Knock Off, Defog, and Roost. It's a very versatile and powerful pick that pairs well with my offense core. My team at this point was looking pretty weak to ground type offense due to my top 2 mons suffering from a ground weakness, and my only quote-unquote resist, it's an immunity, at this point was Latias. So I naturally turned to the pool of grass types and found her a pretty good one in the lower tiers, since at this point I only had 8 points left, Lilligant. For 3 points, this thing was a steal. Quiver Dance offense? Check. Sleep Powder utility with Aromatherapy? Check. Even though Lilligant's coverage is not the best, it gets access to Hidden Power, which uses its decent 110 special attack, allowing it to be a good offensive threat. If Hidden Power's coverage wasn't enough, I made it my final Terra captain, allowing it to run Hidden Power and Terra Blast on the same set, while giving me more opportunities to grab that potentially game-winning Quiver Dance by Terastallization. Another 3-pointer that I got was Muck. Due to Zamazenta being a fake fairy resist and not having a grounded poison type at this point in the draft, I figured that Muck was a really good pickup. Very usable stats for a 3-pointer, pretty wide physical coverage that even consists of Poison Touch Shadow Sneak for a little bit of priority, as well as the coveted Toxic Spikes. Its naturally good special defense also allows me to tank hits from special fairy types like Sylveon and Florges. Overall, pretty nice pickup for 3 points. I only had 2 points left, but made sure to use them well. My first pick was Squawkabilly. In a league with 2 Lazuspect users in Basculin and Houndstone, picking Squawkabilly as my normal type might seem weird because of its rarity, but it was the most I could do. Plus, it can intimidate Shuffle if I play well enough. Squawkabilly's versatility was the main reason I took it. It can launch massive Choice Band Hustle Brave Birds that do 60% to specially defensive Ting-Lu minimum, while having an above average speed stat in base 92, can intimidate Shuffle with U-Turn and even Parting Shot, and can even use Final Gambit with a decent HP stat of 82, allowing me to eliminate a massive threat on turn 1. This blend of traits made it the little threat that I really wanted, which I ended up getting. My last pick actually makes a lot of sense for my team, Dottler. It has one job and one job only, set up Sticky Web. Eviolite makes it rather tanky for a Sticky Web setter. But wait, you might ask, why use Dottler over something faster or something tankier, like Cutiefly or Charge-a-Bug as my Sticky Web setter? To that I say, Dottler learns Recover. It can actually repeatedly set up webs, which is something that my team would really need if I am to use my webs mode consisting of Kleavor, Mamoswine, and of course, Chi-Yu. As a bonus, it can also set up dual screens, making the bug an actual pick that people need to consider. Overall, the team has its strengths, very potent threats in Chi-Yu, Mega Blastoise, and of course Zamazenta Crown, pretty nice speed tiers, lots of hazard removal with Defog on 4 Mons and a Rapid Spinner, lots of pivots as well, but there are a few weaknesses. First, I lack a Ghost type, which is the only type I do not have on my team. Sadly, all the Ghost types either don't fit or were taken, so I would have to make do. Second, My team has no concrete mixed attackers, with Mega Blastoise coming the closest to this category. This makes fighting Stall pretty difficult, considering Blastoise cannot hold an item. Third, I do not have spikes, making hazard stacking Hyper Offense not really an option. But in my opinion, with Kleavor being my hazard setter, hardly losing any momentum while using my hazard move is an advantage over conventional ways of setting up hazards. Fourth, 2 of my Mons do not have an item slot, and those 2 Mons I'm probably going to bring to every single game. So yeah, my team loses a little bit of flexibility there, but the power should probably be worth it. I'm really happy with the team I drafted, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the season would turn out. I will be uploading Draft League content every Sunday, so you guys better stay tuned. Until then, I've been Ryan and Ditto, coach of Deranged Ditto.